I told our turret gunner, I was like, hey, that fucking guy right there, if he pops back out, kill him. So I jump out of my truck like a fucking idiot, trying to like at least divert attention away from those guys because they're not in armor and we are. And I run around that way, come around the backside, and I'm posted up behind the truck. And not even from a dude with a machine gun, it was Mosing the gun off to the left somewhere. I didn't even hear the shot. I just kind of felt like somebody smashed me in the hand and punched me in the shoulder. And I just kind of ducked, and I knew I was shot. I could see my camis fluff up a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, well, shit, that didn't go very well.
Bo, we got Gunner Mike Lane with us today. Mike recently retired from the Marine Corps. Mike has served with 1-2, 3-2, 1-9, 2-8, 3rd Battalion, 24th Marines, has been a DI and a recruit. What is that, some kind of sick joke? A DI and a recruiter, and also an infantry instructor at SOI East, and ultimately retiring as a Marine gunner after 24 years of service, man.
Yes, sir.
Multiple Purple Hearts, decorated for valor. I think it's safe to say you are a glutton for punishment. And I thought it was important to get you on the show. I've never seen a dude take so many lickings and keep a fucking smile on their face like you.
It's safe to say that he's one of those Marines that definitely did not hide and slide.
No, sir. No.
Yeah.
Fell duck, duck, goose.
He said if it sucks, fuck it, I'll go.
Did you just say you fell duck, duck, goose?
Yes.
Fuck it sucks. Yeah, let's go. I'll do that.
Damn it to hell, Mike. So I met Mike a few years back. You know, magnetic personality. People want to be around Mike. Mike's a friend to everybody. Always extends the hand of fellowship. Mike, buddy, how'd you find your way to the Yellow Footprints, and how'd all this Marine thing start for you?
Honestly, I started off in something was called the Navy Sea Cadets when I was in junior high and high school. And kind of transitioned to realizing I didn't want to be in the Navy and went to the Marine Corps.
That went to shit in the whole day.
Do you have a photo as you of a member of the Navy Sea Cadets?
God.
I'd love it. Please, Lord, let me see this.
Yeah, I just realized now you're not getting that.
Oh my God, please, Lord, let there be a photo.
So the Sea Cadets showed you what you did not want to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
he decided, you know what, this sucks. I want to go sleep in the rain and get shot.
Yeah.
There you go.
Turned out to be much better than what that life was.
I agree 100%. Fuck it.
and you're out of where? Where'd you come from?
Indiana.
Great state of Indiana.
Hoosiers, man, they won the fucking national.
Yes, they did.
They did, man. They kicked ass, buddy.
Yeah, that was a great game.
That was a great fucking, yeah.
Killed it.
Yeah, they handled. We watched.
They
that game.
handled it. We did. We sure sober.
So,
Wait, what?
We watched it sober.
they're on, aren't they?
No, they're on.
Yeah,
I want to make sure I heard that right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Well,
no
don't be fooled, folks.
It does happen.
So then you obviously you find your way to the Marine Corps, picked the UH option, infantry.
I did.
Yep. Started out as a
Well, I guess rifleman.
okay.
Go 311.
Now, as I follow you, obviously you made it to Marine Gunner because you've done a vast amount of infantry shit. I know you've had, as a platoon sergeant, you've had a cat platoon.
Cat platoon.
You've had a sniper platoon.
Snipers,
You've
more.
had 81s.
81s.
You've had a rifle platoon.
Correct.
Jesus, man, you've been around.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a no shit Marine gunner. Okay, this is the infantry wizard. Okay, and I can't say that enough. I mean, you got a fucking question in the infantry, you go to the fucking gunner. Okay, he is the all-knowing wizard. Unless you got a company gunner like Bill Bodette, then you come to me. Go ahead.
And speaking of knowing and seeing things, man, I think some of your, I went down the list of all the infantry battalions, and the one that sticks out to me is 19. You had some pretty crazy.
The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead. Tell us about that, Mike.
Yeah.
I want to hear about it.
The what? The first time?
Well, tell us about some of the action you saw in 19. I know when you had your retirement, Judy's
Yeetus.
Yeetus showed up, and I know you and him had seen some hairy times, resulting in you getting some Purple Hearts, and yeah, tell us a little bit about 19, man.
Probably one of my best battalions I had. I checked in after the drill field, and come to first sergeant and says, "Well, probably going to give you one of the worst platoons I got, but you're a drill instructor, you can handle it." I'm like, "Well, all right, that sounds good." And I tell you, maybe they weren't the best garrison Marines, but damn, they could fight. And
How much time did you have to get them ready?
I think we did one field op and then went to ITX.
Did you have a boot drop?
I think right before I got there.
So you did a bunch of PFCs in there and stuff, right?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I had quite a few guys from my last cycle was in my company and in my platoon.
These are your last cycle as a drill instructor.
As a senior drill instructor, I had.
I bet that was nice.
Oh yeah. Had a handful of them in my platoon, but the battalion and company alone had quite a bit in there.
Nice.
Wow, man.
That'd been fucking awesome. I think that'd have been awesome, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. You know, we shared something similar when we went to Afghanistan. We were in our company, what, 2 months? And we were at war with these guys, and there was a lot of shit that needed fixed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the hat can fuck up a lot of things, but I think the hat can also fix a lot of things.
Well, I tell you, I walked in when I was going to check in, and I ran across with the recruit. He got in a fight at clothing, and 2 recruits fought in the line of the damn clothing, right? So we pulled them in, letting them both think that they were going to get kicked out of the Marine Corps because they got in a fight, and I mean they were lost, crying, they were just all sobbing. Anyway, months go by, I check in, and this kid stops in his tracks, and he's like, I was like, stop, man, like that shit's over with, like we're in the fleet now. But just him seeing me brought back, I don't want to say PTSD, but brought back memories of boot camp, and he didn't know what to do with himself. I'm like, stop, that shit's over with.
Right.
Like we're in a fleet now.
We're getting ready to go to war. Let's push forward and let's go kill bad people.
Yeah, we checked in. I think it was 1, if not 2 field ops, and then we were at ITX, and then off to Afghanistan.
Man, that's good shit, man. I mean, you've had one hell of a career. And, there's that word again. I've told this many times. I hate the word career because, of course, careerists make decisions based upon their career a lot of times, not based upon whether it's the right or wrong thing to do. So he is definitely not a careerist, but he's had a hell of a fucking career, a real career, on making bad people's day very shitty.
I think the most impressive thing about you is I always joke with people, and I get the amount of Purple Hearts you've got wrong. I'll say he's got this because you're all chewed up, man. Your arm, your ears, right? You've been through some shit.
Right.
And I always say, oh, Mike's got 93 Purple Hearts. You're like, dude, it's only 2.
Nobody's counting.
But the,
Only 2.
But the level to which you got your arm fucked up, man, and all your time up there in the Naval Hospital and getting through things. Tell us, a little bit about your fight to get back in the fight. Right, I think that's impressive. Like your recovery,
right?
All the shit you went through to get back.
After that, he could have hit and slid for the rest of his time in the Marine Corps.
Right, yeah.
He could have hit and slid. No, he said, "Fuck no, let me go back."
Well, we spent like 5-6 months at Walter Reed, and I wound up catching up with probably 4 or 5 of our guys from 19 while we were there. But the great part about it was everyone there was they were motivated. They were doing great. When I first checked in, one of our Marines, he had stepped on an IED, and he was a below-the-knee amputee. He's in there PTing, and he's just on this ball trying to learn how to balance, and he's punching the
Isn't
bag.
that amazing?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Everybody was excited. They were just motivated.
Where do we find these fucking men at?
And, but all these guys were far worse than I was. And they're down there doing occupational physical therapy every day.
They weren't feeling sorry for themselves?
No, not a bit.
They were just trying to get better to go back to the fight, huh?
The one thing I recall when I was getting ready to get orders to go from Winter Warrior Battalion up at Walter Reed to Lejeune, was my battalion commander was like, what's the one thing that you want? What can I do for you? I said, don't send me to Winter Warrior Battalion East. Like, don't do that. I want to be an outpatient. Because all we ever heard about over there was the drugs, the lack of motivation, all the bad things that happened over there.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be part of that, so he allowed me to stay in the battalion, and I was in outpatient therapy. Yeah. I just went over there, did my appointments, and then I went back to the battalion. So that was probably one of the better things, I think, the decision that was made on that part.
I remember I went to visit a wounded Marine from 3-2 when I was going through school to be a gunner. We had some wounded guys from 3-2, and I'd come from 3-2 as a gunny. And there was a kid there from 3-2 that was a combat engineer attached to us. He was a triple amp. And he was talking to me about mindset. And there was a guy that had been there, and he was a below-the-knee amputee, right? Compared to a triple amp, that's not that bad, right? He goes, that guy's been here a year. He goes, I'll be out of here in 3 months. Lo and behold, this kid was a triple amp. He had lost an arm below the elbow and both legs below the knee. 3 months later, the battalion returns. He's on prosthetics, watching him getting off the bus, giving a fucking hand salute.
That's awesome.
Right? I mean, right? You can't help but be inspired by that. And I think about you. I mean, you almost lost a damn arm.
Yep.
And you get back in the fight, and then you go to 2-8. You got a cat platoon, a sniper platoon, 81s. It's like, if we've got a problem, we throw Mike Lane at it. You did this after your injury, and then became a Marine gunner, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I tell you, when I was at 2MEF on limited duty, and you know, I kept running into Sergeant Major Ziegefus, and I was like, you know, just every day, like, you know, asking how you doing? Can I do anything for you? And I'm like, yeah, get me the hell out of here. Get me to let me get back to the fleet. Let me deploy. And kind of the most, like, I guess, sobering thing to me that he said, because at that time it was hard to PT. I gained a little bit of weight. He's like, tell you what, you lose some weight, I'll look at trying to get you orders somewhere. And it kind of hit me. I was like, I had to look myself in the mirror and like, you know what? Yeah, you kind of are starting to become a little fat slob. You know, you got to. So I got back into it. I had to get had to redo a CFT and a PFT. You know, I got back into the gym, started working out, passed CFT, PFT, and then I got orders out of there, go back to the fleet, which is where I went to 2-8.
No shit, man.
I tell you what, you think you're having a fucking bad day? Yeah, you go up there to the amputee ward.
Yeah.
You know, Walter Reed, you know, or wherever. You think you're having a bad day and you're feeling sorry for yourself, you go up there and look at those badasses.
Yeah.
You know, and as they're working to try to get back to the fight.
Yeah.
I seen it personally, man, and I was like, I'm a pussy
Yeah.
compared to these badasses.
Yeah.
I'm an absolute punk compared to these bad motherfuckers in here.
It's you walk out of that place as going there as a visitor. You don't know whether to be sad or to be proud. It's just it's a lot of emotion.
Especially as a Marine.
Yeah. Because we know it could be you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It could have been us.
Fuck, I bet you we walked over 1,000 IDs and then golf, you know?
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, man, I mean, you think you're having a bad day? I think about that day often that I was there. I was there for 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, that touched me right there. It inspired me because I'm like, look at these badasses. Not one of them have an attitude feeling sorry for themselves, nothing. Every one of them are working, trying to just get back to the fight. Jesus Christ, if people are out there bitching about other things, you know, fuck out of here.
This cat's missing a damn leg, missing all.
you know.
Crazy.
We had 2 guys walking around the ward up there. Well, I say walking loosely, but one guy was in a wheelchair, one guy with a walker, and lost one leg. He was a Osprey pilot.
Yeah.
And he had given the stick over to his co-pilot, taken off in Africa, and I guess wind bounced off the hills behind him, nose dove down. They crashed, and he ended up, you know, having his leg amputated off of that. Another guy, I think something on IED, lost both legs. But they were going around to all the new guys that just showed up, and they're like, "Hey, get out of bed, pussy, get up. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get around, walk around,
Yeah,
get up."
you
know, just moving around, kind of trying to motivate everybody.
Taking care of Marines.
It was good.
They were absolutely taking care of them, you know, by doing that.
That's a leader.
You know, that's right.
That's a leader.
That's fucking right.
That's a leader.
man.
So you get over to 2-8, man, and you've experienced all you've experienced. Then you what motivated you? What made you say, "Hey, man, I want to take my skill set and I want to be a Marine gunner"? What sent you that direction? I mean, because you're a hat, people are like, "Oh, he's going to be a sergeant major, right?
Right,
He's going to go 89, 99 route."
Right.
You said, "Hey, man, I want to be a Marine gunner." What?
I think my time in 19, seeing kind of what the gunner was doing, kind of brought me into focus on what that actually meant. I've heard of it, I've seen it. You know, when I was in 3-2, I just didn't really fully grasp what it was until 19, kind of pulling the battalion aside and having to refocus on what our training was and what the objectives were and what needed to be done. I'm like, wow, that's the only way to stay immersed in the infantry and still be active.
Yeah, you're a restricted officer, man. It's all you're ever going to fucking do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What a great fucking program
You know,
that is.
you go first sergeant, sergeant major, all, you know,
Don't
go
even-
to airway,
no,
or I'll be calm, or
Don't get him upset.
Don't get me started on that.
that was like the one way to stay there and feel
Don't
like
get
you
me-
were
yeah.
giving something back to the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, so from there you become a gunner, and you bounced around a little bit initially, but then you settled and you spent the bulk of your time in 1-2 with Gabe Diana.
Yes.
And then you guys, when you were over there with Gabe, you transitioned to being part of the experimental infantry battalion.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Force Design 2030.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it was putting this spaceship together while we were flying.
Painting a moving train.
Yeah, just trying to figure out. They had a good baseline to it. As far as a master sergeant, operations chief instead of a company gunny, and just kind of elevating everybody up one rank. And there was a lot of talks that we all would do internally and externally on what we thought of it. I think on paper it makes sense. The problem that I saw, and a lot of other people did as well, is you can't just throw rank at a problem because it comes with experience.
That's right.
You've got that
Amen.
master sergeant, gunnery sergeant, but if
Amen.
they've missed all that time in that MOS because they've been gone, I did 3 B billets. Granted, I didn't spend 3 and 3 on every one of them, But that's all that time gone on the B billet where I could have been staying in my MOS, you know, sharpening my skills.
Yeah, Mike. But the big difference between you and a lot of those guys is you did what is necessary to catch back up and to make sure that you were still tactically proficient in your MOS.
Right.
Okay, you didn't try to hide and go back to a B billet. And you're not defined by your B billets. Yeah. You're defined by your by being an infantry.
Completely agree.
And I guess what you're trying to get at is, okay, I've got a 6.5-year sergeant that's been a squad leader for 2.5 years, and I've got an 8-year staff sergeant that just came off recruiting duty.
Right.
Staff Sergeant Knight is going to pick that 6.5-year sergeant to be his squad leader.
Well, that happened to me. You know, when I was a sergeant.
Yeah.
You know.
Or you go on recruiting duty or whatever the B billet is. As a sergeant, you get meritorious staff sergeant. Then you come back and you go to the rifle range. Then you pick up gunny. You've got the rank to now be that platoon sergeant as a gunnery sergeant, but you don't have the experience. You got the maturity. You just don't have that time and experience because you have the rank.
Right. You know, we're not bashing them, right?
But then, right.
But it fucking happens.
If we could figure out how to fix that, now you're getting the rank, the maturity, and the experience. That would be like the best answer. But now let's look at it holistically as a force. Can we really afford to pay that many people in all those positions?
You know,
that's huge.
What about that one staff sergeant that I met down at Parris Island?
Joe Cale.
Joe Cale, okay? Fucking great fucking devil dog. Great Marine, man. He works at the high school now. And what do you say he wants to, before he goes to the fleet?
Yeah, he just went to unit leaders course before he went back to the fleet.
Right, but so there's one of the ways that we can kind of maybe do something about it.
Yeah.
You know, these guys that are coming off the B billets, instead of sending them straight from their B billet straight to the fleet, make them go back to a school to catch them back up and then send them to the fleet.
They do a lot of that too, like the recon guys. They will send them to a kid to jump and dive, like right after basic recon course. So they show up and they're not sending them out to a school. So the staff sergeant that takes professional responsibility, I don't want to show up fucked up.
Right.
I'm going to take the time to I'm going to knock the dust off. So when I show up, I'm ready. Because I see a guy like Joe, and I'm like, that dude's too good to be a squad leader at this point.
Absolutely.
That needs to be he's a platoon sergeant.
I tell you, the company I was in when I left the drill field did great. He allowed me to leave early to kind of account for me going to IULC before I checked into 1-9.
That's awesome.
That's great,
so I actually
man.
got that. Matter of fact, when the Nevada incident happened, I was in school.
Hawthorne.
Knowing I was going over to 1-9 already, but they let me do that first instead of checking in and then going over somewhere. So I mean, that was one of the things that the company first round did there that helped me out. But the big thing with IBEX though is they were what I mean by afford by, like we were taking all these ranks from all the other battalions within the division, and it left them without because we had Alpha Company was straight up IBEX, Bravo Company was a mix, and Charlie Company was traditional.
Yeah.
But it just that's a
Man,
lot of rank.
I couldn't imagine being in a company office with with a master sergeant, 4 gunnies, and more staff sergeants than I can count. That's insane.
Yeah.
But I get it. As we start to push technology down, UAS, adoption of different rocket systems, machine guns, weapons, all the new comm gear, we are asking a lot of an infantryman.
So when you left there, what did you think? Was it working? Did it start to work? Did it suck? I mean,
I don't think it sucked. I think it was. I could see where it would be a good idea over time.
So it's going to take time.
Yeah.
Like anything in the Marine Corps, you know.
Right.
Got to work the bugs out.
Yep. The bigger issue we've all talked about it was the weapon systems on. Everyone's being trained on everything. Everyone can be a machine gunner. Everyone's capable of being a machine gunner or a mortarman. Yeah. But then the round allocations that train to a standard, there's not enough.
There's not enough there.
And I think what you see, and I with my job, I'm around Army infantry folks now, and I see them, and they professionalize the mortarman and the 11. That's it. The UOJT, a machine gunner, UOJT, a missileman, and it's like, dude, that's bad to go. I want a professionalized missile man. I want a guy that lives and breathes missiles. I want a guy that lives and breathes machine guns, right? You need to have that professional that understands that. So I'm grateful that we do it that way, but with this whole, we're going to redo things, this 2030 force design, which is right around the corner, and then they'll call it 2035, 2040. You can't continue to ask the 11 to do more, and more.
Right,
You stack so many tasks on him. What do you say? It's about a wrestler that knows 60 moves. I'd rather have a kid that knows 6 like the back of his hand. Jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah.
Well, that's where you start getting away from the basics when you start adding.
And I tell you what happens. You don't familiarize nobody with nothing.
No.
Okay? Fire.
No.
Fuck that. You don't familiarize anybody with shit. You either teach it to them so they're productive at using it, or you don't fucking do it. Okay? Because it's a waste of time. You waste money, and you might waste people's lives.
I had a really bad. I had a lieutenant one time that wasn't very good, and he came to me when I was a battalion gunner. He was
bullshit.
No, it's true.
Bullshit.
Hey, he company XO, and he comes up to me. He goes, Gunner, and his 11s weren't. His 11s needed work. He goes, I want to teach my 11s to cross train as machine gunners. I'm like, they're not even going to be in 11s yet.
God.
Right?
Yeah.
So occasionally you got to be the gunner, the voice of reason. It's be like, let's do simple things well first. This is in this guy's wheelhouse. Let's fix his wheelhouse before, like, let me throw a 240 or ask him.
That's what a gunner does.
Yeah. Or,
It says, hey, look, you're right.
He's an 11. I want him to headspace and time a machine gun. He can't even zero a fucking service rifle.
Right.
That was another
Do
topic,
simple things well.
You know, as far as even going through SOI, you're trained as a basic rifleman, but we're learning about rockets and 203s. Like, that's an actual build, a grenadier. You're learning to be a rifleman. Why are we muddying the water with that?
You know, there's a lot of, I don't know who makes these fucking decisions and comes up with it, but man, they need to take a good look at. Hey, you know what they need to do? They need to listen to the fucking people that know what the fuck they're doing and that are there.
Yeah, it's been. I know there's been a. Man, it's been rough lately with the Marine Corps. You know, you've divested of snipers. You got rid of 0351s. You got rid of tanks. So anywhere you go, everybody's like, well, we're experimenting right now, and I think that leaves
Experimenting.
That leaves some uncertainty with people that have to do it, right?
We got the Mew sitting off the coast right now of Iran. Let's experiment.
Experimenting.
We had the Mew going outside of Venezuela, setting off coast of Venezuela.
Off the coast of Venezuela, we're experimenting.
It's like
Yeah.
a brain surgeon calling our job a practice.
Get the hell out of here, you know?
I think if I had it my way, you leave the, particularly to a rifle platoon, you leave it alone. TOs.
What is what? It's worked for years.
It's worked for years.
All right.
If they're wanting to save asses, this is how I would save asses in an infantry battalion. Watch this. This is gonna piss some people off. Get rid of weapons company. Move 81s over to H&S. Divest all your machine guns and all that shit. Make a 4th squad to a rifle platoon. Get rid of weapons platoons and take your 60s and your UAS, put them in your company headquarters. And here's another one. Watch this. Put 2 8999s in an infantry battalion. You put a first sergeant in H&S and a sergeant major. Put master sergeants in charge of each infantry company.
There you go.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Somewhat what they kind of had done
Right.
with that IBEX was getting
But-
rid of that weapons company.
Right.
Boy, I'm gonna lose some friends over that one.
I agree. It is what it is, JC. You put real fucking infantrymen in infantry battalions, and you know, at every level. Don't give a shit, you know.
Well, I hope in the end when this all pans out, but we always see, if you go back to manuals and you look at Small Worlds manuals and you look at how we TO and ED, all the way back to World War II, you always find yourself coming back to 3 fire teams.
For the same thing.
Yeah.
You always come back to 3 fire teams.
Absolutely.
And you always come back to a machine gun squad that has 2 machine guns. So,
Sport security.
well, good deal, man. What else we got, man? Tell us something else. You live up here in West Virginia now with me and Bo.
Yep.
Man, you're always giving people a hand. Dude, you fix cars. You fix houses.
Very shit he can't do.
Hey, shit, Mike. Hey, you're the commander of the VFW post.
And the commander.
But he wears that hat.
We have ascertained what I can't do is duck.
Well, right. He can't duck.
No. We're going to mark him on hey, we're going to mark him no go. No go.
No go.
You know the biggest fucking they put on guys with Purple Hearts is how much they charge for that thing.
That was a 70
Yeah,
bucks.
how much do we?
You know, I walked in one day. I walked in one day to pick mine up, and I
Yeah.
walked in. And I'm like, and the metal guy was there.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this some sort of sick joke?
Mine was like
And
$68
you know,
or
and
something.
you know what he says? He goes, it's because it's the 3 colors of paint that go in the metal. So if a metal's just plain, you know, anodized or non-anodized, it doesn't cost that. But
Well, they give you that old fucking, you know.
But
the
you can't
old
use it.
unanodized.
You can't use it.
You know, and
Because the ribbon's even a different length. It doesn't have the same one.
Really?
Yeah.
You would know.
so I'm like, what the hell? You know.
You would know.
I went and bought the anodized one.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
Go.
So you have a remarkably good attitude all the time. Can you tell us a story or two, maybe that how you have that? Like, I've never met anybody who's been through everything you've been through who's still in a good mood all the time.
I'll tell you how right now. I'll tell them how to do it. Whiskey.
Hey,
I mean, it helps.
hey. So let me tell you a story, and I don't mean to go down another hole here, but I had the privilege to go be a guest of honor to speak at a ball 2 years ago. What I didn't have the privilege of doing the following morning is getting these two guys from Covington, Kentucky, back here to West by God, Virginia. Now, the guest of honor made a big mistake in not giving me a plaque and giving me a bottle of whiskey. And I'm thinking, it's Sunday morning.
How'd that go?
I'm going to make it back to the house. It's about a 4-hour drive. Now, and trust me when I say this, we tied it on the night before, buddy. We were all in a magical realm. About an hour and a half in, and we're driving through like a dry part of Ohio, like Amish. There's no place to get beer. Bodette looks over at me and Mike, and they say, I'm getting a little thirsty. Like, what do you mean? They're like, we need some beers.
JC, pull over.
JC, pull over. So I find myself in Amish country looking for a watering hole to get some cold beer. Now, they get their beers, and I'm like, all right, surely they're not. All of a sudden, I hear, boop. There goes my gift. And they are up in the whiskey. About 2 hours later, we come screaming in hot into my driveway.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
That was a good trip.
Whiskey helps, I guess.
That was a good trip.
So does Tito's, doesn't it?
Whiskey helps. Buddy, I'll tell you what. So,
Oh, fuck.
but yeah, Seabass. This guy always keeps it on the sunny side, man. And it's infectious.
Right.
And
It is. Right. If you have a bad attitude around Mike Lane, then you suck.
Nope.
You can't help but be happy.
Because you can't help but be in a good mood. And I don't know how he does it either.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's just better to lie with a smile on your face than being pissed off all the time. Doesn't mean I'm not pissed off or don't get pissed off, but
Yeah.
as what I've been told before, the only place you're going to find sympathy is between shit and syphilis in the dictionary.
Yeah.
So get the fuck over it, move on.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, two Purple Hearts. So that's 2 times you've been fucked up enough to get a Purple Heart. So
Right.
Back to back. I mean, was it a week between both of them?
16 days.
So can you, I have never been through anything like that. So I have no idea where your mind went.
Tell me about the first one.
It was like, what was it? Monty Python and the Holy Grail, right? Yeah, merely a flesh wound.
Right.
No, we had, I think, we had just fired a sergeant, and he was the guy with the mounted patrol with the trucks. So I went with them, and we were screening to the I think it was the south. Platoon commander took everybody else, and they were on foot going to the north. And then all of a sudden, we had 240s and snipers over here, kind of an overwatch position, and machine guns just took off, headed up towards those guys. We were in armored trucks. So I told our turret gunner, I was like, hey, that fucking guy right there, if he pops back out, kill him. So I jump out of my truck like a fucking idiot, trying to like at least divert attention away from those guys because they're not in armor and we are. And I run around that way, I come around the backside, and I'm posted up behind the truck. And not even from the dude with the machine gun, it was Mosin the Gaunt off to the left somewhere. I didn't even hear the shot. I just kind of felt like somebody smashed me in the hand and punched me in the shoulder. And I just kind of ducked, and I knew I was shot. I could see my camis fluff up a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, well, shit, that didn't go very well. Got back in the truck, told the turret gunner to stay low. But what was funny is he looked down and he was like, oh, fuck, you got shot, that's cool. I'm like, shut up, pay the fuck attention. Anyway, so got that bandaged up, called it in, I think turned in the 9 line. I think we were fighting for another 45 minutes. Got those guys, they broke contact, took off. Got back to the patrol base. Helo comes in, kind of got in trouble. I guess you're not supposed to walk to the helicopter with a cigarette and a rip it in your hand. Anyway, so flew back to Leatherneck. They
That's
gave
so
me,
fucking Marine.
You don't get much more Marine than
They
that.
gave me 14 days of light duty. We could ready to do another op, so at day 10, I finally convinced the surgeon to pull my stitches out, let me go back. He said, well, as long as you don't go out and keep it clean, well, you know,
But you're going out.
yeah. I think
Yeah, you're going out.
I was back for four more days, and then on that 4th day back, we were back out. So the platoon commander wanted to go out, but I told him, no, you just did yesterday, so I'm going out. Well, I think it was 4th platoon was out in contact. I was QRF that day. So I told the platoon commander, I was like, nope, you were out yesterday, I'm going out today. And he's like, all right, fine. So we head out, but I told the company commander, he's like, hey, QRF, what's your plan? I'm like, well, helicopters keep showing up all the time, and they squirt off to the south every goddamn time. So how about I go down past, come around, pass them into the south, come up north, we'll trap them in the middle. But of course, we're crossing the boundary line, which all those that don't know, you got to get permission to cross the boundary line, so it's going to take a little bit of time. So while we paused, kind of waiting for permission on the boundary line to cross it, we got hit by another, like, I don't know. They saw it on the stimulus balloon over there on Leatherneck. It was like, I don't know, maybe a squad minus of guys with machine guns, AKs, and RPGs. And all of a sudden, my driver looked over at me. He's like, "Staff Sergeant, I don't see any of the kids playing anymore." Kind of leaned forward and looked out the window.
Here's your
And
sign.
I was like, "All right, you just, get ready."
Oh.
And but I was leaning forward talking to him, and then
Boom.
all of a sudden I wake up, and for those that have seen old school, halon is opposite of helium. So instead of high pitch, you're really low, like you got a dart in your neck. That's what the halon does to your voice box and your oxygen. But we wake up, it's dusty in there. I'm asking if everybody's okay, but it's in that dark voice. I look down and there's fingers in my lap, and I'm like, well, okay, they're not mine. So I put them over there, kind of in the middle, and that's where I saw my arm, my leg. And I was like, well, that's not good. Tried to use the radio, but when it blew the end of my pinky off, the bottom of the mic of the handset wasn't there. So I had to crawl back and use the handset of the radio behind the driver, but it was covered in shrapnel, so I couldn't get anything out. So I told the driver, move off the X, go forward. We pulled next to the Vic, I was Vic 4, Vic 3. Told him what was going on. Hey, not good. Throw out red smoke. Like, shit's not looking good. I go up top to the 240, and that damn thing's bit in half, just messed up, 240 shot. So there's no point in standing up there. Get back down inside. Kind of recorralled where Vic 1 had a mine roller, and Vic 3 had a mine roller. So Vic 2 and me, we flip-flopped, got back to the patrol base, and then waited for the helicopter. So
I'm so grateful that my time in the Marine Corps went the way it did for the most part, because I've actually got to be associated with guys like this. I don't give a shit who you are, what you do for a fucking living. I don't care if you're a gazillionaire. I wouldn't trade these experiences with these type of guys for anything in this world.
Nope.
I mean, for nothing. I mean, if I died today, which I hope I don't, I would have had the greatest life just by association with the true warriors that I've been able to surround myself with and be around. And these are two of them right here.
When
We'll do it all again.
And when we look at people often say, "Man, I walked among giants," and people kind of look at you like this. No, that's
Right.
it's the absolute truth. Walk among
Absolutely,
giants. And,
absolutely.
you talk about finding the fingers, and I remember when I came to your retirement, Yeetus was there.
Yep.
And I got to talking to Yeetus, and I think he's Cobb County, Georgia,
Yeah.
where the big boss man's from.
Sheriff's Department,
Right? Sheriff's Department, down there with Big Boss Man. And I'm like, so you're right-handed, and you've only got two fingers on your right hand. He goes, I re-taught myself how to shoot with my left hand, even though I'm right-eyed. He's a damn deputy sheriff, and he's got two fingers on his dominant hand.
Oh man.
And happy to be here, proud, great dude, man.
I tell you, and
That's badass.
He did a great job. He went through a lot too. I mean, it actually cut his femoral artery, and the corpsman was in the back.
Oh, man.
Got in there and pinched it off. Yeah.
I've seen a corpsman do that before.
Because I got left arm, left leg, nowhere near what he had. But he had right arm, right leg, just the angle and how we were sitting, and it got him really good.
Man.
He got pepper in the face, and he and I talked about it briefly, but I think he doesn't remember it, nor do I. I mean, there was a big firefight.
Right, man.
I don't know how long we were unconscious, but there was a firefight and everything. They killed the dude and everything, but I guess he was reloading when the 240 just took him out. But by the time we got back to, I don't remember any gunfire. When I climbed up on top and saw the bent 240, it was all blown up. There was no gunfire that I recall, so we've been a little bit.
Yeah, I have a lot of hazy shit in my head too.
Yeah, he don't. But
during gunfights,
I think he saw it coming and ducked just in time. Because there's no reason that if he wouldn't have ducked it, he'd have made it. Just it's amazing how everything works out, and I got to give it to the doctor. It's amazing what they can do nowadays on fixing everything like that. It's just it's mind blowing.
Right.
You hear it too compared to the Vietnam guys, that some of the things that Iraq and Afghan vets have survived, man.
Yeah.
So,
Well, our medical is so much better than that. All right, and our gear too. A lot of our casualties now would have been KIAs in the 60s.
Well, especially now they teach us with the TCCC and all that stuff. They teach the individual Marine with. I mean, we took care of a mass casualty
Absolutely.
on an IED, and the individual Marines are out there doing CPR.
Right.
Trying to do stents. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Splints. I mean,
Yep.
The quick clots, they know how to use it all. And that is true too. I mean, Marines, they take care of it. They take care of each other like nothing I've ever seen before in my life.
Yeah.
So.
honored to be counted amongst them.
Hell yeah.
So with that, Mike, brother, I'm grateful that you are in our circle.
You're the man. You are the man.
Happy 0306 Marine Gunner Day.
Let's get a good let's get a good close up of that picture of him.
We got a magical pic of Mike Lane for you guys.
If this is not the wizard of all wizards, yeah, I'm telling you, show him that picture. Show that picture.
I'll throw it up.
All right, make sure you see that one.
Hey, thanks again, everybody, for joining us. We're looking to get some new content out with you guys. JC.
And I'm Bo, and I guess we're out of here.
Yep.